What's up guys, PDC here, and as promised, I'm going to be recording the games of the series of me versus Ojama for Smogon Tour Season 19 playoffs. I'm decided to split these up into two videos. I'm going to start with a DPP game because that was, I believe, the longest, and I'm going to finish with the second video of Black and White plus XY. So this is going to be the DPP game of me versus Ojama. Hope you guys again enjoy this. We're going to go ahead and start the replay. Obviously with the music off. So Ojama is going to be on this side, I'm going to be on this side, and he decides to lead with a Zapdos, and I'm going to go ahead and decide to lead with a Swampert. Now, from just the start, I look at this matchup, and I'm like, alright, this is a really good lead matchup for me. I can get rocks up pretty safely. I'm not scared of Zapdos since most only carry HP Flying as their strongest move to hit Swampert with, not HP Grass, so I'm not really that worried about this. So I figured this is a free rocks for me, but Ojama is instead going to be actually carrying HP Grass, and he's going to do a shit ton of damage to me. Although I do manage to get my rocks up, I do not like taking almost 80% turn 1. That was not an amazing start for me, but I do trade rocks for it, so I'm not that upset about that. Ojama is going to go ahead and go for a Thunder Wave here, predicting to switch into something like a Tyranitar or Heatran or something like that. But instead, I'm going to go out to my Celebi. And this is a very bulky, especially bulky Celebi, so I don't really care about what else that Zapdos can throw at me. I am going to throw out a Thunder Wave of my own at the Jirachi, and I do manage to hit it. Just judging by what Ojama likes to use on his teams, my best guess is that this is indeed a 3-attack plus Stealth Rock Jirachi that's mostly specially defensive, and I do turn out to be correct in that it does have Stealth Rock, and it probably has Iron Head, Body Slam, and Fire Punch as its remaining 3 moves. I go with the Swampert here because I do want to recover a little bit of health from that Zapdos attack. If he has something like a Tyranitar or something like that in the wings, I could use a healthier Swampert. So I'm just going to go ahead and fire from an Earthquake, and I hit a Starmie, which, judging from the damage, it definitely is going to be a bulkier spitting Starmie. So there's that, and I'm going to go ahead and Earthquake it. As he does remove my hazards, I am going to be able to force him to recover here, and I'm going to probably be able to get at rocks again, and luckily Swampert is healing up its health little by little. Which is very good for me, and I am going to be able to get rocks up, and Swampert is now going to be sitting at 50% instead of a very low, near 20%. So that's pretty good for me. He is going to go for Rapid Spin again, and I'm just going to go ahead and decide to hit him with an Earthquake. I'm not really sure what move this Starmie has. It probably is something like T-Bolt, but judging how the Zapdos has Thunder Wave, I would not be surprised if this was in fact a Thunder Wave Starmie on its own right, which is making me hesitant to switch into Gengar or something like that, which I do have in the wings. So I am going to go for the Stealth Rock here. Starmie's going to be at a 57%, and I decide, alright, fuck it, this is useless. I'm going to go ahead and switch out to my Gengar here. And Starmie is going to go ahead and hit me with the Surf, which he did manage to predict me on, and that does a lot of damage. I was actually surprised it did so much, but then again, we sometimes forget how light Gengar really is. So I'm going to go ahead and hit him with a Substitute, and I managed to catch his Jirachi on a really crucial turn. I get the sub, and I'm going to go ahead and hit him with a Pain Split. Now, most Sub-Split Gengars are Life Orb version, but this is in fact a lefty's Sub-Split Gengar. So this is basically a free full heal up for me, as that Jirachi is definitely going to give me plenty of HP back, and I'm going to weaken him quite a bit. So he's going to go ahead and hit me with Iron Head. I really do not care. I'm perfectly fine with that. Gengar is nearly at full, and his Jirachi is slightly weakened, and I decide, you know what, I think this is where I should reveal the Magnezone, because now he can be 2 KO by Thunderbolt, and I don't need to worry about any Fire Punch shenanigans, and he's probably just going to go for an Iron Head here again. And luckily I do switch to Magnezone in the right time, and I do manage to trap his Jirachi. I should be able to 2 KO with Thunderbolts or HP Fire. And I do manage to hit it with a nice chunk of HP for the Thunderbolt, and he's going to go ahead and hit me with a Fire Punch, which does crit, but I don't really care all that much. Well, it would be nice that maybe have Magnezone at a higher level of health. I really don't care, because I don't imagine him having another Steel, or Magnezone being incredibly useful. And I do manage to take out the Jirachi, so I do get the first blood of the game, so that is pretty convenient for me. And I wonder what he's going to send out next. I figure he's probably going to send out something like a Ground type or a Heatran, but instead he goes to Machamp. And Machamp is very bulky. That is a full special attack modded Thunderbolt, and I do nothing. It is also a leftovers Machamp, so judging from calcs I did at the time, I believe he would have been like full HP and then some special defense investment. So that's not really all that good for me. I'm going to go to my Celebi here, which I am packing Psychic on. And I'm going to go ahead and decide and just throw it out there. And he's going to go out to his Zapdos, which it's going to take a decent amount from the Psychic, but he obviously has a little bulk on it, so I'm not really bothered by that, because Zapdos probably cannot touch me in the slightest. Like, if it has T-Wave and HP Grass, and the chances of it having Heat Wave or U-Turn are abysmal, because there's no way this thing is not carrying Roost. So I am going to be able to paralyze this Zapdos, and as I'm sure you guys can tell, this is a very paralysis heavy game. Ojama's team is practically built around that, and as you can tell, he has freaking Machamp and Zapdos, which have T-Wave, so he's going for Parafusion, stuff like that. And knowing that, yes, indeed, this is a paralysis-based team, he's going to go ahead and bring out his T-Tar, which I am almost 150% sure is Choice Band, because like TV Rocka's team based around Thunder Wave, this is 100% a Choice Band T-Tar, and I realize I can lose my Celebi here if I don't play my cards right. Luckily, I do manage to catch this thing on the 50-50, and I do manage to get Celebi out safely and trade it for a Swampert Sack, which really, Pert is not doing that much anymore in the game. But I do want to keep those rocks up. But I also know that Gengar can outspeed the Starmie, so I'm not in 100% danger at this point. Now, I am going to go ahead and bring out my Gliscor here. I was subbed up here because I figured, okay, he's either switching or something like that. Maybe I can get a Swords Dance on him. But instead he just goes to the Crunch. I decided to Earthquake T-Tar here, but he goes ahead and crits me. And I would have lived that, I believe, over a 90% chance, maybe not even 95% chance, if not 100%, because I had some HP, and that crit that he got me with the Crunch on, he crit me with Crunch, and that did matter, and that was really annoying, because I know that Gliscor would have been able to really do well in that game. I'm surprised that he managed to get a crit on Gliscor in Sand with Sandveil, but that's for another story. So I managed to just revenge kill the T-Tar with my Celebi, and he's going to go ahead and bring out his Starmie. Now I'm going to go ahead and go out to my Gengar here, because I do want to keep these rocks in the field for Zapdos and whatever else he's packing in the back. And he does go for the spin, so I do manage to catch him on this one, and I really am wondering what his last is. I'm thinking it could be something like Breloom, because the French love Breloom. It could be something like Blissey, or it could be something like Togekiss. Now, Togekiss, when I saw this Pokemon, my heart skipped a beat, because I'm like, oh shit, how am I going to beat this thing? Because I really don't have a surefire way of combating Togekiss. I have a Tyranitar in the wings, which is my last one. I mean, it's obvious I have a Tyranitar, considering I have a Gliscor. So I'm getting a bit worried at this point. I'm looking at this and I'm like, oh shit, how am I going to handle this thing? And he does manage to catch my Tyranitar with a T-Wave. I just went straight to T-Tar and Instinct, and I really don't think I had another option there. I could have subbed and maybe Pain Splitted, but I felt like I just had to go to T-Tar. And he goes for the Roost, as I predict, so I decided to hit him with a Superpower to force another Roost on the next turn. Because there's no way he's letting this thing get any lower than that. So this way, I can manage to switch in my Celebi and take out my Meat Grinder out the game, because he's going to grind some meat later in the game. And I'm going to switch in my Celebi, my Closer to God. Now this Celebi, this is really where stuff gets crucial. Now, luckily, or not luckily for him, but I'm surprised he let this happen, although I guess he really didn't have that much of another option to do. He lets me paralyze his Togekiss with Thunder Wave, and I'm just looking at it like, fuck, I actually managed to paralyze this thing. This is huge. Maybe I can beat it with T-Tar now, because now T-Tar is faster again, and I can hit it with a Stone Edge or a Crunch or something like that. I decided to just instead go for Psychics here, because, I want to see what I can do with this thing. And I do manage to get the special defense drop while he is paralyzed, so that's really good for me. And I realize that he's not going to be keeping this thing in for much longer, because if I get these special defense drops that eventually combine with the parallel paras, he's not going to be able to beat the Celebi. But he is going to switch out to his Jon Snow Dies. I'm not sure what reference that is to. TV show or something, and he goes out to his Starmie. I thought he would maybe go out to his Starmie here. I wasn't 100% sure, though. And at this point, I'm looking at this, I'm like, alright, what can I do? How can I win this game? And I decided to go out to my Gengar once again to prevent the spin and keep Togekiss relatively weakened. I know that I can take a Surf plus Sand, but instead he hits me with a T-Wave, which is equally as annoying. I do not like getting hit with T-Waves, if you guys didn't know. Now, my whole team, bar Celebi, is paralyzed, and Togekiss is looking like a pain in the ass. He's going to recall that Pokemon back, and he's going to go out to his Zapdos here. I figure, you know, what can I really do at this point? This is not looking all that great. I do manage to hit the Zapdos with its Shadow Ball, and luckily I do not get parried in this sequence, and I am going to be able to kill the Zapdos, which is really good for me. That's another Pokemon down. But I decided to go out, switch out to my Celebi here. The reason why is because okay, he does got a crit, that's kind of annoying, but the reason I want to go out to my Celebi here is, one, I can save my Gengar for another day, if that makes any sense, and two, if he decides to bring him a champ or something on the Gengar kill, that could be kind of bad for me. I can save this as a sack, and I know that his Zapdos cannot really touch me aside from paralyzing me, and luckily I do get a nice little special defense drop, plus a paralysis, so that's really good for me. I did get a little lucky in this DPP game. But mostly with the small things, which really do add up. So this means I can kill his Zapdos, and this also means that I can probably manage to keep rocks on the field if I win a couple 50-50s or something like that, or not, because I think Gengar is now in Surf range, so he's just gonna be able to spin here, and I'm getting really worried. I am gonna be able to kill the Starmie, but this isn't looking great. Rocks are now off the field for on my side for him for good, and I know I have no way of getting them back because Pert is dead, and it's really not looking all that great when he has a Togekiss in the back. So he's going to go out to his Togekiss, obviously, and I'm going to hit it with a Psychic. I'm hoping for a special defense drop, I'm hoping for a para, and I do not get it, which is kind of annoying. Judging from his set, it's probably Roost, Air Slash, T-Wave, Nasty Plot. I could not imagine this thing having Aura Spear or something like that. So I'm just going to keep psyching it and hoping for the best, really. I hope I get some paras and special defense drops. If I get those, then maybe I can win this game. I really don't know. But all I know is that for now, he's going to be forced to Roost, because if I get lucky enough, he's screwed. Now, I am going to go out to my Celebi, not my Celebi, I'm going to go out to my Meat Grinder, my Tyranitar here. I want to see what I can do to this team with Stone Edge, and this is really where things get hot. This is where, I guess, my real luck comes in, and the luck is actually managing to hit through Paralysis with the Stone Edge. You don't see this every day, folks, and you're probably never going to see this again in your lives. It comes up later, but I managed to break Paralysis the first time. This is an incredible sequence of luck. I figure there's no way he's keeping his Togekiss in here. This one pair will seal his fate to Celebi, so I decided to go for the Stone Edge on the Machamp switch. And now I'm like, okay, well, Gengar is absolutely useless. I don't have faith in Gengar anymore. Puns. And he's just going to go ahead and hit me with an Ice Punch. Yeah, I don't really care. Gengar is absolutely useless. I don't need it anymore. It's not doing anything for me. It can't touch Togekiss, so there's no point to keep it around. He's just going to Ice Punch it, and he's going to take out the Gengar or Machamp. And this does leave a slot open for the Celebi to come in. Now, this is really the most crucial turn of the game. I decided to bring in my Celebi here, and this is the most crucial turn throughout the entire game. I realized that if he goes Togekiss here, then that kills my momentum. I need to get that momentum back, but to get that momentum back, I need to kill the Machamp. So what do? Well, I decided to pull a switch that Ojama later said he was really contemplating using Dynamic Punch here. I decided to double out the T-Tar. My teeth were clenched, and I was hoping Ojama would not make the play and go for Dynamic Punch. But he doesn't, but that's only part one of the play. Now I have to kill the Machamp through Para with either Crunch or Stone Edge. I probably should have calculated this a little more carefully, but I get paralyzed the first turn. He goes for Roost, and this is just where things get hectic. He gets a Paralysis on me there, and it's just really my T-Tar. I don't know how much more I can take of this. I hit him with a Stone Edge, and it doesn't kill him, and I'm like, oh shit, this is not good. but he's definitely going to be in a range where if he gets paralyzed, he's kind of screwed. He could stall me out of Stone Edges, but keep in mind, he's paralyzed too. And here is the moment of truth. He switches out and goes to his Machamp. I was really nervous here, because I thought, if I miss the Stone Edge, then this could be game if I don't predict right. This could be the game right here. I could lose it all right now. I forget what health Togekiss was at. Probably around 70 here. Yeah, 70 here. So I realized that, okay, you know, it's do or die here. I have to hit the Stone Edge. And by some miracle, I hit Stone Edge through paralysis. And that's crazy. Now, the smart thing, now that I think about it, would have probably been to use Crunch, because I think Crunch plus Sand would have had the same effect that Stone Edge did. Even on like max HP Machamp, but I really don't know. I guess I would have been relying on defense drops and powers on Togekiss there. So that's some food for thought. He's gonna go out to his Togekiss here, and I'm gonna Stone Edge it, and this is really getting hot, because I know that this could still not be it. Even though I killed the Machamp, the game's not over. I'm 1 inch away from killing it now. I just need to not get paralyzed, or miss, of course, and I do get paralyzed. And he gets paralyzed as well. Now this gives me another shot. Am I gonna hit it, or am I not gonna hit it? It's a question of the day, really. And I get paralyzed again, and I'm like, oh shit, this is not good, because now I'm gonna have to resort to using crunches, and I'm gonna have to hit them. I'm gonna hit the defense drops. I'm really worried here. I don't know what I'm going to do. I get paralyzed for a 3rd time in a row, and he's going to go ahead and use Roost again, which is, I guess, good for me, as wasting Roosts is always nice for me. So that's good. And it's just really coming down to this. I get paralyzed for a 4th time, and he once again goes for Roosts, and like I said, wasting Roosts is really good for me. This whole part is just a blur for me, because I really was like, oh my god, am I getting paralyzed again? But I finally hit him, and now I realize, okay, victory, it's almost here, because he gets paralyzed this turn in return. So, am I going to hit this one? Am I going to win the first game of our series? Well, we'll have to see. And I do. I hit the Stone Edge, and I beat Ojama's Paralysis team, Thunder Wave team, Paralysis, something, however you say it. And I do it, and Meat Grinder, the T-Tar, pulls through for me, thankfully. And that was it. That was the first game of our series. I will upload the Black and White and XY games in one combined video, probably. So thank you all for watching, and also thanks to Fakes for building me this baller team. This is actually an incredible team. Like, I think it's undefeated in tournaments, because it's incredible. Like, it's undefeated in every tournament I've used. DPP Cup, all that. So that's pretty cool. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.